Hello, friends. This is Ghalip Kamal, and you are watching me on my YouTube channel. Today, I have a very special person with me. He is basically an Turkish ex-Muslim, and he runs Ex Muslim of Norway, and he is currently residing in Norway. And basically, he's an ex-Muslim for such a long time, and you might also be following his page on Facebook. That is basically Ex Muslims of Norway. So, Jamal, will you please introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, Ghalip. Thank you for having me. My name is Cemal K, Yucel, and I'm from Turkey. I was born and raised in a conservative Sunni Muslims family in Turkey, in the middle of Turkey, and I have been indoctrinated with the same fundamental teachings of Islam, like any other children of Muslim families. And in my young age, I was very active with the Islamic movement. Its name is Milli Görüş. It is like the same movement like Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt.
Okay.
In this time, our today's president of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, was only one city leader, Istanbul leader. He was not in high position. I was very active Islamist young boy. Like today, I'm active in different side, opposite side.
Now you are now an ex-Muslim, and you are running an ex-Muslim organization that is having a very good impact as well. So, one question, let me ask you: like, how many of the Turkey's population is Shia, and how much is Sunni? Like,
I have no pool data, but it is 90% of them is Sunni.
Okay, so there are extremists also in Turkey who want to bring Sharia law to Turkey.
Yes,
like
they have been there all these years, But today is a little bit different. Today they are more outspoken. After Erdogan's rule, since 2002, I think, 18 years,
they have become powerful.
Yes, and they have their own channels. They are freely. They say they want Sharia, and they are not afraid anymore. Because before it was difficult for them to speak freely and say what they want.
So let's say one of these people gets their hands on you. So what will they do to you? One of these extremists.
Of course, they will kill me, or they will do that. But they don't know me. They don't know about me much because of I'm running a Norwegian ex-Muslim organization in Norwegian language and English. But we have other ex-Muslims, Turkish people who live in the West. They are running with Turkish language. They have YouTube channels, and they are criticizing Islam. They get a lot of threats, death threats. And even somebody said they will come. They know where they live. They will find them. But we have to be careful all the time. And because of in Turkey, a lot of Islam critics have been killed in the past. Especially in the 1990s, it was a black year for Turkey because of all our most intelligent ex-Muslim writers, outspoken persons, have been assassinated and killed. For example, Turan Dursun, he was one mufti, one imam, leader of imams. And in the 1980s, he left Islam and he started to write books about Islam. He didn't criticize much. He just asked questions in his books. And he served all absurdities in the hadiths, in the Quran, and everything to the public. This was enough reason to kill him.
Okay,
and so like these persons, a lot of we had before, but today in Turkey, almost no outspoken ex-Muslims.
So
This I have to say.
so this is about the activists. So if there is a normal person who says that he is not a Muslim anymore, so is he also in danger in living in Turkey, or they are not in danger?
It's up to where he or she living, which
Okay.
which sides of Turkey, which communities, and which friends they have.
Mhm.
You know, in Turkey, actually, there are a lot of atheists people.
Mhm, mhm,
Even pool data showing last year that
mhm.
atheist people is rised 3%.
3%.
Yeah, in last 4 or 5 years,
Mhm.
3% is a lot for
Yeah, it's a lot.
Turkey, because then 3 million, like,
Yeah.
who identify themselves as atheist, you know.
Uh-huh.
But even this pool, we believe it's a lot more than this,
Yeah, exactly.
because in Turkey is deism, deist,
Deism. Yeah,
deist
deist.
people is much more than atheist people,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
they are rising really faster, because in the first
Okay.
step, when people leave Islam, they don't leave the God, they leave
Yeah.
Allah, the Arabic God, you know, the God of
Yeah.
Arabs, but
Yeah.
they continue to believe one God,
Mhm.
and they are a lot. And we have in other side agnostics, because this pool
Yeah.
didn't show us who they included in the pool, you know. They
Yeah,
say only
exactly. Of the
atheist
non-believer.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah, but non-believer is, I believe, you know, in Turkey minimum 50%, I'm sure of that, 50% of people don't want Sharia, more than 50.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
they are like these people, but they are not realize, or they don't know actually that they are deist.
Mhm.
They think they are Muslims
Yeah,
because they believe
yeah.
one God.
But they
Okay,
don't believe in
Allah. Yeah,
Islam. Yeah.
yeah. No, they're not practicing. You know, one pool showed us. It is made it by religious affair department
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
Turkey,
Mhm.
and pool says 92% of Turkish people never read the Quran in Turkish language.
Yeah.
Can you
So
imagine that?
this means in Turkey, Islam is not that strong.
No,
It
no.
is, and it is very fast. It is going down.
Yes, I believe that it's not strong in the public, but they are
Yeah.
now getting stronger and stronger in the state departments. You know,
Mhm.
when you have
Mhm.
one Islamist leader
Mhm.
who ruled Turkey in last 18 years, then
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
it is normal to think or see. We are witnessing that
Mhm.
schools and all state departments is getting more and more religious.
Yeah, exactly.
Even before,
So
when I was in school, even the primary school, you know, we uh, we sing it, this songs of freedom, songs of
yeah.
laicite.
Uh-huh.
But today they are singing of jihad,
Yeah.
about jihad. You know,
So
so it is, one thing is dangerous in Turkey, I believe, that we have a new generation
mhm.
who born and raised uh, under the rule of Erdogan.
Erdogan. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
when
Erdogan.
they were 5 years old when Erdogan come to the power. Today
Mhm.
they are 23 years old,
So
and they
these
have been
people don't know.
brainwashed. Yes.
Yeah. These people don't know. These people think that being very Islamic and thinking about Sharia law and all of these women rights and all of these things in a negative way is like the good way to go forward. But they don't know what freedom means. So in a way, Erdogan has kind of brought Turkey into the past
Yeah.
instead of going ahead. So this is a dangerous thing which is there. But as you can see, you know about our movement in Pakistan, like how we are running this free thinker movement in Pakistan now, and there are now thousands of people, maybe even in hundreds of thousands, who identify themselves as non-believers or maybe free thinkers. So what do you think, like, can you compare, like, at one point you thought that maybe Turkish movement was very young and now it is coming a little bit mature, or it is growing up now. So, like, along with this time, there were a lot of difficulties for you, like so many people had died. But what do you think, even after all of this, atheism is still growing in Turkey, and people are becoming atheist and non-believer day by day. So, do you think even countries like Pakistan have hope that one day, like Turkey, we are also going to grow in number? So, what do you, because
You know, first of all, about Turkey before Pakistan. When I'm talking about Turkey, people can understand with two different ways.
Mhm.
That sometimes people think, oh, it's going very bad when
Yeah,
they
yeah,
hear me, but it's not actually. It is
yeah,
it have two sides, and I
yeah,
strongly believe that in Turkey, Islam can never win.
yeah, 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 yeah,
It can only win in some small part of Turkey,
yeah.
in the middle of Turkey, maybe a little bit the east of Turkey. In Turkey, even this generation I'm talking about, who rise up under the Erdogan rules,
Yeah, yeah.
they are questioning, because of today we are living in the enlightenment
Information.
information age.
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
it is it is impossible that people cannot hear who are ex-Muslims, or what they are saying,
yeah. Exactly,
and they
exactly.
do that.
Mhm.
And they are questioning. I cannot change any Muslim to become atheist,
Yeah,
but
exactly,
I can
exactly.
help them to question
Yeah,
things in their religion, and go and
yeah, yeah,
search
exactly.
and decide self. It happened to
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
I was an
Yeah, yeah,
Islamist.
exactly.
In this time, even we hadn't so much like social media, Wikipedia. Even we haven't computers at home
Yeah,
in this
exactly.
time. But
In
we
90s,
heard,
in Pakistan
because
also, it was same for me.
yeah, and critics were there. And the critics, when we heard them, what they are saying, in the first we say, oh, they are lying. They are
Yeah, yeah,
crazy
yeah.
people. They are lying about Islam. We get angry.
Mhm, mhm.
We felt insulting. They are
Yeah, yeah,
insulting us.
yeah, yeah.
But later, it come one point that you cannot just deny. You
Yeah,
have
exactly.
to look your books. Is it right that they are saying or not?
Yeah, exactly,
And this
exactly.
happened to every ex-Muslim. And now it is happening faster. And in
Yeah,
Turkey too. So deism is rising, atheism is rising. Although they are like they have no freedom. They are attacked by both state and the people. For
yeah,
example, a lot of charges against Twitter and Facebook users in Turkey.
yeah,
For
exactly,
for
exactly.
example, and by only a month ago, one man sentenced 18 months prison because of he wrote on tweet that Muhammad had a mental illness.
Okay.
Muhammad
18
cannot be
months.
an normal person. He have to have
But
mental illness.
still it's better than Pakistan, because they
Yes,
will
of course,
kill
of
you
course.
for blasphemy in Pakistan.
O-
Death
Of,
sentence.
of course, I'm talking about the most secular, Muslim
Yeah, yeah,
country.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Turkey
yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
have
Because Turkey is very secular.
charges, and
Mm.
like
Yeah.
one writer wrote one poem.
Mhm,
Some says it's from Ibn Khaldun,
mhm.
11th century's
Yeah, 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 yeah.
poet.
Yeah.
It says, you say, wait, I can read to you. It says, you say rivers of wine flow in heaven. Is
Mhm.
heaven a pub to you? You
Yeah.
say two virgins, houris, waiting each believer there. Is heaven a brothel to you?
Yeah, yeah,
Brothel.
exactly, exactly,
And
exactly.
even for this, he's a well-known artist. He get
Yeah.
1 year prison.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So like these things happen every day. And but still, we are now. I have more hope about Turkey, because I believe Turkey will remove even Islam from.
yeah. Yeah, these laws as well.
Yeah, it will happen. Because of before, Islamic movement and Muslims acted like they were victims. all
Yeah,
these years,
exactly.
last
Yeah,
100 years, they
yeah,
were
yeah.
victim, and they had a lot of victim cards, like hijab. They want hijab in the schools, and they get it now. They get it
Mhm.
even in the primary school, and a
My
lot of
God.
other things. And when you are a victim, then you get support from all over. Even
Yeah,
the
exactly.
socialist people supported some of them,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and they get the power now. And now even the Muslims watching and seeing what these Muslim Islamists actually doing the country. There are more
Mhm.
corruption. There are more corruption and unjust. A lot of journalists, writers in the prison. So
Uh-huh.
even they are questioning today Islam movement. So it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
happening, and I'm sure that Islam will go into the garbage box of the
Yeah,
history
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Exactly, exactly.
in the near future in Turkey. But
Yeah.
what about Pakistan? It will be more difficult.
Yeah, it will
It
be
will
very
take
dangerous and
more
difficult.
time. Yes,
Yeah, yeah. Exactly,
because of
exactly.
they have no experience with the secularism,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
unlike Turkey. And there are, I believe
It's going to take some time. It's
it
going
is
to take some time.
yeah, but I believe that all activists from Pakistan is more have more
In danger.
courage, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
are in more danger than
yeah, yeah,
any other Muslim countries. I believe that
yeah.
because of
Exactly.
people are forgetting Pakistan. They think Iran and Saudi
Yeah, yeah,
Arabia is danger, but I have a lot of Pakistani friends,
yeah, yeah.
and I know some of ex-Muslims who are now in prison the last six
Yeah,
years.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I know how is that, and we have world have been witness to mob killings.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. In the case of
And
Mashal Khan, Mashal
yeah,
Khan, there was a professor who was killed last year, like who was killed for just organizing a music party at school. So this teacher was
mm,
killed. Like
mm,
this is how bad the situation is, and rest, there are many things that we cannot talk about, but you know about them, and I also know about these things.
yeah,
So things are very difficult in Pakistan right now. But I have kind of a hope now that we are talking on YouTube. We are talking through Facebook. There is a large secular community on Twitter as well. There, some of the Pakistani activists as well who have done a lot of work, even more work than me, and they are doing great work right now as well.
mm.
Many of them are behind the curtain. Myself, I am also behind the curtain. I cannot come in front right now, but maybe that day will come very soon when we will be able to talk in front of a camera freely.
Mm.
So
And
things
Ghalip,
are
just
moving forward.
I want to add a little bit that you are saying. I'm totally agree with you, and I want to say again that hope is there, and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
will
hope is
be
still there. Yeah,
changing in Pakistan too, of course. Because
yeah, of
if
course.
you continue with this and others do the same,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course, change will happen. Change
yeah,
will happen,
exactly.
and it's coming. Before, in 20, 30 years ago, it was only some forums,
Yeah,
and who
exactly.
knows the forums,
No one knows.
just a few people who are very interested to search
Yeah,
forums. They find things there and discuss it. But today, YouTube, you are there, we are here,
yeah,
and
yeah,
a lot of ex-Muslims from every country, especially in the West,
yeah,
and this will change the world.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
So I'm very happy for that. And if the other ex-Muslims who are hearing us, if they decide and if they contribute a little bit
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
with one page, fake ID, no problem,
yeah, yeah,
or whatever, then they will distribute or contribute to the enlightenment age
yeah, yeah,
in
exactly.
Islam.
In the
And
Islamic
it's
world.
happening.
Yeah,
It's happening today.
it's
Before
happening.
30 years ago, it was only few persons, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were in danger. They were targeted. But
yeah, yeah,
today,
yeah,
they cannot target just one or two. They have to target a lot of many thousand people on social medias. Yeah, it will. It's not only hope. Even it is a guarantee, but
yeah,
it
yeah,
will
yeah,
take time in some places more than other places. But it
yeah,
is
yeah.
happening, and we are lucky. Not like the Christian people, like who have to fight in 400 years, 500
yeah,
years
exactly,
ago,
exactly. Yeah,
and they hadn't internet, Wikipedia, but they did it.
yeah, they
But
did it.
today, also a lot of states like Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, even blocking and want to stop.
But they cannot stop
But they cannot. We
because
find
people are using proxy, people are
yeah,
using VPN, people are doing everything that they want to stop them from.
yes. You know,
So,
I mentioned it, the Turan Dursun, one writer. He was a mufti who have been
mhm,
killed. You know,
mhm.
his books today selling more than 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly,
Books
because there
still
are so many
selling.
people who want
Yes,
to learn from him.
yes. He waking a lot of people still,
Yeah, exactly.
and
So
that you are
one
doing,
other
that we
thing.
are doing.
So one other thing. Now in this coronavirus outbreak, so what is happening in Turkey? Are people questioning religion now? Because if you go to a mosque, you will be spreading coronavirus now. So are the mosques closed in Turkey? Are people scared of going to mosques? Or what are the mullah saying? Because there are so many funny things from the mullahs coming in Pakistan.
It's
And
the
how
same.
is the situation there? How is the situation there?
It's almost the same. You know, Muslims people, the religious, especially conservative Muslims, are hypocrite.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
they don't want to go mosque itself. You know, they don't.
Yeah.
But in the same time, they say it like. I have to translate this word because of the. It was funny. They said takdir. You know, takdir.
Takdir,
Yeah.
takdir. Yeah, I know takdir. Everyone
Uh,
in Pakistan knows takdir.
yeah.
So,
You like you have to get your you have to get everything secure. You have to do
yeah.
everything to not get this virus, and
Yeah.
takdir is from Allah.
Yeah.
It,
So
it
they are saying that you have to follow all the precautions and then takdir is from Allah.
yeah, it is
So
so
if you
stupid.
don't follow the precautions, then takdir is not from, like,
Yes,
takdir will be different.
and in Turkey,
Yeah.
even you know, Turkey is very special right now. They say it under 20 years old, people
Mhm,
under 20 years old, and people over 60 years old or 65
mhm.
cannot go
Yeah.
outside. It's like
Yeah,
forbidden.
because it is dangerous for the young people too. Why? Because their immune system is very
Yeah.
active, so coronavirus can use their immune system against them. That's why young people are also dying. So over 65, we have a friend in Turkey right now. So his he was also told to stay inside. So thankfully he is going to move out of Turkey. That is a good thing.
But
So
they said it is like more than 900 people died in Turkey.
yeah.
And when states say more than
Yeah.
900, like 920 or something like this, people died, and then
Mhm.
then we have to think it is more than 2000, I believe.
Yeah.
You
So in
know,
Pakistan, in Pakistan, people are not believing that this virus is going to kill them. So yesterday, one province chief minister told us that in Pakistan, the infection rate is 20%. It is the highest in the world, 20%. So in Pakistan, so many people are going to die. Why? Because this virus was brought from Iran by the Zairine that went to visit different sacred places in Iran, Shia sacred places, and then by the Tablighi Jamaat, the international Tablighi Jamaat that has the that is operated from India. And Maulana Tariq Jamil is in Pakistan. He is also like connected with Tablighi Jamaat. So Tablighi Jamaat is spreading coronavirus in Pakistan and also in India. Even one gathering that happened in Lahore took the people who were there in that gathering, took the virus to Malaysia, Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, Nepal, even Palestine. They took the virus. So I think when this is going to happen, I hope it does not happen that so many people die in Pakistan. But when people are going to die at the end, people are going to question these mullahs that because of masjid and because of your tabligh, so many people have been affected by coronavirus. So I think in the Islamic world, people are also going to question Islam because of this virus and so many people dying. So this is what I wanted to also discuss with you. So do you think in Turkey also this is going to have this kind of effect?
of course, I'm sure that after coronavirus, even this will make some doubts inside
Yeah,
the head of the some
yeah,
believers.
exactly.
because it's a good topic to discuss, actually, existing of
exactly.
God and the virus.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
but Islam is very hypocritical religion in the
Mhm.
writings too. Like Muhammad, what he said a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
things.
yeah.
It is one thing here, one thing there.
Yeah, in Medina, he was very peaceful. In Makkah, he was sorry. In Makkah, he was very peaceful. But in Medina, he was a, he was a tyrant. He was a very evil man who killed so many people in Medina. But in Makkah, he was like this guy who was like very, very, very peaceful. He was not giving threat to anyone
Yes,
like that.
and about the disease, I want to say that now I hear that Muslims say like they are washing their hands and like making what's this ritual washing.
Yeah.
Look, we have right, but they don't understand. It's not helping. In Turkey, everybody
Yeah.
go and making ritual washing with the cold water,
Yeah.
without any soap. They call
Yeah,
this
because
washing. This is not the washing.
yeah.
It's not killing any virus. And the other
soap is
side,
soap is the soap is the main thing. If you
main
don't
thing.
use soap, then virus is going to be alive and it's going to kill you. So
Yep.
if you don't use soap, then it's not helping.
Yes.
So this wuzu is not helping.
Wood is not helping, and wood is
Yeah.
it's not washing. Wood is just like you be wet,
Yeah, just
wet
be
in
wet.
your hand.
Yeah.
But and Muhammad said, anybody who dies with because of disease is martyr.
Yeah. This
You know
is
that?
what they are using in Pakistan as well.
Yeah,
This is what
and
they are
this is
saying in
dangerous
Pakistan.
thing. This is dangerous
Yeah.
thing. And the other side, another hadith say Muhammad said that if a disease in one city, you have to not go there, and nobody have to come here. They use that like this is the miracle of Muhammad. Say, look, he knew it. My friend, disease were many 100 years before Muhammad. And they put all the people who had the disease outside of the cities, in Christian people too. So
Lepers.
it was well known thing, but Muhammad is exposing self with another hadith. In another hadith, he say that disease cannot go from one to another.
Yeah,
we
because
have one.
in Bible, if you read Bible, the lepers who have their skin problem, skin
Yeah,
falls out.
right.
They were in Bible. It's mentioned in the Gospels that they were kept outside the city. That what you are telling. So
Yeah.
they knew that sick people have to be separated from the healthy people. So it is no miracle coming from Muhammad. Muhammad is just copying those people who were saying before him that sick people should be separate from the healthy people. So they knew all these things.
Yeah, and like I say, why I say Islam is a hypocritical religion, because of there are a lot of things, and some Muslims, especially who defending Islam and earning money from,
Yeah.
like imams and mullahs, they say one hadith from from Bukhari, but they're jumping over another hadith, because Muhammad said different things in different time, and this is like crashing with each other, two different things. So there is no miracle of Muhammad. People have to wake up to the now and think their health, and not go outside and gathering with other people. It's a virus. It have nothing to do with the religion.
One question I would like to ask you. So many Pakistani people ask this. So what do you think about Haroon Yahya? So they don't even believe in Pakistan that he has these girls that have a plastic surgery all over them, and they are his what you would say sexual.
It is true. He have, and this is not photo montage. Haroon Yahya is now arrested again, even under the Erdogan's rule.
Yeah.
He have psychological problems, and he say he's a Mehdi. He
says he's Mehdi.
Yeah. Like he don't want to say I'm the Mehdi, but he say like this: Mehdi have like this hair. Mehdi have one black mark here, like I have. Mehdi have, he describing himself every time, and he's like a sect, we can consider with some little bit Scientology and little bit Jim Jones, for example. It's like a cult, and nobody take them serious in Turkey. No Muslims,
So
no Sunni Muslims, no Shia Muslims. Pakistani and other Muslims are very proud sometimes.
Very they take him very seriously, especially when he writes about evolution. All these books where he takes it,
all things is a lie. And he didn't write anything. He didn't write anything. And he said even this, other people write for him. And he put the name Harun Yahya. This guy is really have mental problems, and it is like even from the hospital they have papers for that. But even it didn't help him to get arrested again. But no Muslims take them serious. It is really strange that in the world, other Muslims are very proud in Pakistan. In Turkey, he's just a charlatan.
They think that all these pictures and videos are fake.
No.
They're all real.
No. It is absolutely true, and he have the girls, and he called them my kitties.
My kittens.
Yeah, kittens. Yeah. His kittens. And a lot of things have been said about that they have sex group and like these things, but we have no proof, so I cannot say that. Of course they have they are playing music and dancing. And girls just adoring him and say, so beautiful you are, like Harun Yahya, and you are so beautiful. And he said that they are beautiful. Nothing is, if you say the translation or something, Pakistani people, it is true. It is no fake. Everything is true. And if they think this is the real Muslim, it's good. It's good.
But, if even if they accept, but they should accept other Muslims who are like him too, because there are so many other Muslims who like to drink and have girls and all of that. But they should accept, like, if they become Muslims like him, then Muslims are not a problem for anyone.
Yes, and because he even the non-Muslims are not like him. Like many girls, many parties. Playboy guy. So for me, it's okay. I hope Pakistan people will love him and will live like him.
Of course. They should live like him. So Cemal, how did you leave Islam? Like, what was the question that brought you to think that Islam is lying, or Islam is just a man-made religion?
Yeah. Thank you for asking this question. It is a good question because of, I have thinking a lot. What was the first reason? What made it something to me about questioning Islam? I remember when I was very young, then I think 6, 7, 8, maybe, I don't know. I believe every human being have common sense. We have common sense.
Exactly.
But how much we use this is the problem. I believe every children of Muslim family, I'm sure, asked their parents, when parents said Allah is the God, He created everything, and we will die one day, and etc. Then I asked my mother, very like innocent question, but who is the father and mother of Allah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And my mother said, shh, don't ask like these questions. Nobody created him. Okay, then I just closed my thinking brain and continue with the Islam. But when I was finished with the high school, high school. In this time I had one magazine, Tawhid magazine. I was one Islamist, and I want hijab everywhere. I want Islamic rules will be implemented in the state and everything. But in this time, I was lucky because of Turkey was an secular enough country. We have no full freedom, but we were secular. It means that we had our other voices, liberals,
Exactly.
who called themselves laicite, secular, or non-believer. So these voices I have discussed with about I want to help them so they can be Muslim again, you know. But they come with things that I have never heard before. Even Aisha's age, you know, or Muhammad killed
It's a
people.
big question.
I said, how dare you? How you can insult my prophet? He's the best prophet. He's the best human being. He never killed someone. Why are you telling like this? You are a liar. You know, a lot of like this thing, and it forced me to read.
Yeah, exactly.
It forced me to read Quran. It forced me to read the history of Muhammad, hadiths. But it took time. It happened like
it takes time.
this. Because you know, progress is always going very slowly.
Yeah, exactly.
It have to be a lot of questions here, then you do something. But the other thing, most important thing, I think, that I left Islam later because of my mother's life.
Okay.
You know, my mother is illiterate. She haven't been in school. My mother have used hijab in all his life, or her life. And first, my mother, because she telling me her story when I ask her, my mother, in young age, she was a servant of her family, and later she gave him away to my father, marriage, and she didn't know him, and she became a servant, slave of my father.
Yeah, exactly. This is what happens to women in Pakistan too.
Yeah, almost every Muslim woman in the religious communities, and her life about everything's her life about that. She will make food. She will give birth to a child. She will have sex with my father. This is her life. She have no freedom. She cannot go to her parents even without get permission from my father.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I start to think that, you know, unjust, because my father was very violent person. He hit my mother every month, many times. Even we have to call the police many times, you know. So she had very difficult life, and I start to see the unjust, and I look to neighbors woman. They have the similar life, much or less the same life. Inside my family, women have the same life, much or less. Maybe they get hit once in 2 months. My mother gets hit every week, and no freedom. So I start to think that, you know, we have 6 pillars of Iman.
Islam.
Islam pillars is 5, but Iman, the faith. We have six pillars, and one of them is Qadar, the destiny, and Qaza, and happening. So this question, you know, I asked one Imam, and I asked him, I don't understand. Do Allah know everything? That my father will be very bad man to my mother, and my mother will be very good Muslim because she have prayed 5 times a day since she was 9 years or 10 years old. You know, she have no like borrow to Allah. She have she have, and fasted and everything. So my mother will go to heaven, my father will go to hell. And do Allah know that if this is like this? Yes, he know that. But why then he make it this theater that he know the results of the exam, you know, test.
Exactly.
But he let test go. A lot of unjust and brutality happening. Why my mother have to suffer? Can't Allah just stop everything? You know what Imam said to me? Cemal, you have to never ask too much questions about qadar, the destiny in Islam.
Taqdeer. In Urdu we say taqdeer.
Yeah,
Taqdeer we say.
if you do that, you will fall from Islam.
Okay.
You will be apostate one day.
Yeah.
And that's right. This is the dangerous or tiny, how I can say, the weak point of Islam.
Weak point. Yeah. Exactly.
If someone-
Taqdeer is the weak point of Islam.
Yeah, if someone really questioned the qadar from hadith, from Quran, everything, you will see that this religion is just a lie.
Yeah, exactly. Because if Allah knows taqdeer, then why do He put all these people in so many difficult situations? And He is just watching, and these people are everything wrong is happening to your mother.
Yeah,
He's just watching.
Either he is no powerful and he don't know everything, or he's a sadist. He's a crazy person, and like no, everything is right in my life. Like Muslims believe. I asked it even that another Muslim nearly, and I like 10 years later in August 15, 8 o'clock, I will kill a lot of people in one shopping center, and before that I will do a lot of harmful thing to another people, and I will be killed there after I do that action. Do Allah know this will happen or not? Yes, He know, they say. He know everything. They cannot say He don't know. Then He know. Then He know even I will be an atheist one day. What is the point? Yeah, what's the point of everything? Then this question is, I think Mutazilis in Iraq, they had the same problem, but they became with that Allah is not all knowing, that He cannot see. But what happened to them? They have been killed because
killed by Imam Ghazali.
Yes, and without blasphemy laws, with death penalty, Islam cannot be existed today. Couldn't be existed until today. And this even says by the one of the biggest mullah from El Azhar. What's his name? I forget. Just everybody know him. He's Al Jazeera mullah. He said exactly this one. He said without death penalty against apostasy and blasphemy, Islam couldn't exist until today.
Yeah, exactly. It cannot exist. This is
so these things happened, and I was so happy in Turkey that we had voices like Turan Dursun and other Islam critics. And one day come that I stopped praying, and I stopped fasting, and I left my city. I started work with bars, like disco bar, like with alcohol, with women and everything. Then I just quit Islam without saying that I'm not Muslim. If somebody asks, I say I was Muslim. I live my life like other hypocrite Muslims. We don't believe, but we're living our life like under the Muslim title, So I left Islam in Turkey, actually, long before I come to Norway. And in 2016 in Norway, I come to Norway 2005, and 2016 I started organization Ex Muslims of Norway, because I want to contribute to the enlightenment in Islam. It is our duty, because here we can. Like, you have a lot of difficulties than me, and others have much more difficulties than you, and they cannot. So we all have to contribute for freedom. For that, I don't want to see another woman will have to live my mother's life here. Or there. And I want Turkey will be a country like Norway. Not that Norway will be a country like Turkey
has the potential to become like Norway. And I think you are very close to that goal. So I think it will be.
Yes, I agree with you, because of I believe that Erdogan's the rule of Erdogan in 18 years did much harm to Islam and than positive thing. So people leaving Islam just because of even political reasons. They look to the ruler, they are Muslim, proud Muslims, everything's inshallah, mashallah, Allahu Akbar. And they do they see the actions, what they are doing, and then they say Islam is that. You know?
Because all this corruption, all of that things which these mullah were promising that when Islam will come, this will not happen, this will not happen. It is happening even more now.
It is a big lie, you know, to say that when Islam come, it will be justice. You know, you cannot see justice if Islam is rule. You cannot. Even between the Muslims. Because of women have different rights, men have different rights. And I'm not talking about non-believers and the other. They have no life under Islam.
Yeah, exactly. So one other thing that I thought I would ask you, because Pakistan, there is a lot of hate towards Israel. So is there also hate in normal Turkish people for Israel, like Muslims? Or
you know, in Turkey, only religious people hate Israel.
Okay.
I was one of them. I hated Israel without reason. Because, you know, Israel is like a tool for Muslims. They are using Israel to get more power or more support from other Muslims. You know, you have to be victim. And how we can be victim? Then we have to use Israel, like Erdogan did. Erdogan did all these years, but in the same time, they have very good relationship with Israel, with buying weapons or selling things. You know, under the table, they have good relationship. Even the Islamists. But in the public, they have to blame everything to Israel, and they have to use religious speeches against Israel. This is in all over the Muslim world, I believe, but it is only a tool. It's only a tool.
But at least in Pakistan, they don't want to accept Israel, or they do a lot of politics against Israel. Even this coronavirus is now a conspiracy of America and Israel. This is not even they don't even want to talk about China, that this virus came from China. Though I also don't think that China should be held responsible for this. In some way it should be, but China did not create it. But in Pakistan, they are thinking that America created this virus, or HIV virus was created by Israel. So this is what they believe in Pakistan. So I think in matter of education, like Turkey is so much higher than Pakistan, because Pakistan normal people don't have education. They are not educated, so they don't understand what are the real problems and what are the false problems. So this is where we are much behind Turkey. But I think one day we will reach that point where people are going to leave Islam, and that is going to happen because of social media and people like you and so many other people that we know. So what message would you like to give to people who think that Islam is very true and they have the right to kill someone if they apostate from Islam or they say something against Islam?
I want to say to my message to Muslims especially, that really they have to start to think open mind, okay, and they have to read. If they follow a religion, then they have to know what is all about. They cannot just believe a religion anymore with only hearing from mother, father. We are witnessing a lot of harmful tragedies and very much evil things which happens in the name of Islam. And these Muslims, good people who not practicing their religion, who are not taking serious Islam, telling that this is not Islam. What ISIS doing is not Islam. What Saudi Arabia doing is not Islam. What Iran doing is not Islam. But they have to start to think and start to ask the question to themselves: is this real Islam?
Yeah, exactly.
Can it be a real Islam? What is writing in my books? There are a lot of books with the gold front pages, in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Muslim countries. They love to have the on the wall.
Mhm.
Start to read and decide yourself, because we have been cheated in 1400 years. My mother,
Yeah,
me, my grandfather, everyone. This is a lie. This is a cult. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I'm listening.
And only thing we have to focus the humanity. We have to be humanist. We have to love each other, and we have to stop with the one Arabic cult from 1400 years ago, which commands us things not suitable with the modern values or modern life today. A lot
Yeah,
of things
exactly.
can be said, but the most important thing is really, I advise every Muslim to read their books
Yeah,
with
exactly.
open mind, with open
Yeah.
mind,
So
in
one
their
other question.
language, in their language.
One other question. Like, you have seen what happened with your mother, but now you are living in Norway. Norway is one of the most free countries in the world with women rights. They have very strong women rights, and they have very good laws to protect women rights. So what difference do you see that in the life of Norwegian woman and the Muslim women who are suffering due to Islam? So, because, I think if Islam has to be defeated, you have to convince the woman. When you convince the woman that they can live freely, it is not going to be difficult for them to live freely, they should not be slaves of men, then they are going to teach their sons and daughters, and the society is going to change. So, like, can you explain what kind of freedom a Norwegian woman enjoys, and how her life is much easier than a Muslim woman?
Mm.
And
You know, I get very sad every time when I look to the Norwegian woman, and then I think
yeah,
my
yeah,
mother's life.
yeah, exactly.
It is like one side is slave woman, other side is a free human being, not only
Yeah,
woman,
exactly. Yeah,
free
exactly,
human.
exactly. Free human.
These women are their own boss, chef, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like we men in the Middle East,
yeah,
or
yeah,
in
yeah,
Pakistan. They
yeah,
are as much as free as men,
yeah,
and this give them a value. They
yeah, yeah,
are not just a woman, just a
yeah,
body.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
are like me, like you. They
yeah,
have right to have a free life however they want, however. And they are good mothers. We think all the
yeah,
time, the
exactly.
Muslim countries, that our mothers is the best mothers. No,
Yeah, exactly.
they are
They
very
are
good, and
also doing
even the lonely mothers, like without
single
husband,
mothers. Yeah, yeah,
single mothers, working and caring the children, and doing even goes with the children activities,
yeah,
supporting
yeah,
them in their life. Uh, so, but I don't believe that we can convince Muslim women before we take the power from the mullahs and imams,
yeah, exactly, exactly,
because they are
exactly.
doing that. Like women have no chance to fight against men,
Yeah, exactly.
because their father, their brothers, their husbands controlling them. And when you live under the control of men many hundred years, then everything's became like usual, like everything's became like normal, you know
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of women think this is the normal way to live. Make food to the husband before he come, and just only speak with the neighbor woman.
yeah,
And why they don't? Because they cannot think that I want driver license, I want a car,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
you
yeah,
have no
yeah,
job. Because they don't give you job because you are a woman. They don't
yeah, exactly.
send you to school because you are a woman. So we have to change the mentality of men, and most importantly, remove all the mullahs and imams, religious leaders, from public, from state.
Yeah, Exactly.
You know, we have to discriminate them. I think these things happened in the West many hundred years ago. They take the power from the preachers, from the priests and the church.
Exactly.
They isolate them, and when you isolate them, they have no power or authority over another people.
So, Jamal, I have two final questions for you. The first
Yeah.
one is like, can a man beat his wife in Norway? What will happen to that man who touches his wife, who beats his wife in Norway?
It's not allowed, and he will lose her as wife, and he will get prison.
He will get prison. So
And he will never be near to her wife later in the future. Yeah.
Even his children will not be allowed to go to such a violent man. There will be
Of course.
difficulties for him.
It's very strict laws to protect women because of you cannot you cannot beat no one.
Exactly.
You know, this country is very peaceful. It is very different. You can fight with talking.
Okay.
You don't use violence.
The second question comes to Islam. Like, if there was no wife beating verse in Quran, will the Muslim men also beat their wives or not?
With this mentality, after many generations, I believe they will still continue, but it will go down, of course. But you know, like these verses, they don't bite their wives. I don't believe every Muslim man biting their wives because of it is written in the Quran.
But it is because one who does, he does not feel guilty. Why? Because
he justified.
He is justified.
He justified with this verse, and this verse have been there in 1400 years. You know, it has been like a tradition. You don't think the verse, you don't think the Quran. It is like, because Quran is written for men. You know,
exactly.
There is no places they say, "Oh, you women's." All believers, when he say to the men. Most of the places, you know, it's to men. And then when you say man is protector of woman, men have more rights than woman, and when you can get many women, but woman cannot get many men, and when you say you can bite, you can bite her,
beat her.
You know, and then this sit in the under. Like in our DNA, you know, consciousness. We are not Muslim man is not like walking Quran like with two foot. They are not thinking every time what they do something about Quran, but it is there. So and it's not helping that to say but you can bite like very lightly. This is not helping. This is just lying about what Allah say. You know, we see in hadiths Muhammad hit Aisha's chest very hard, and she get she's telling us. Other side, you see Umar. Everyone. This is patriarchal.
He's beating his wife. Umar was very.
Patriarchal desert culture. You know what we can expect. So we have to make equality. You know, if we say women have the same right, state have to say that, and they have to support totally. They have to show that yes, women have the same right as men. Women can go to and meet with her friends, men or women, like you do. You know, and punish them, those who not following the rules. Then some mentality can change in the future, or it will be there.
Yeah, exactly. So in the end, Jamal, would you like to say anything that you want to say, like to anyone who is watching?
No, I just want to thank you so much to you, Ghalip. You are doing very good job, and I know your background a little bit, and in all these difficulties you have You
Yeah.
have very much courage, and I
Thank you.
appreciate that you are doing. And I hope we will talk again, because we in
Yeah, of
Ex
course.
Muslims of Norway also will start with YouTube live sendings soon. And
Yeah,
then
of
I
course.
hope we can collaborate together,
Of
and
course.
maybe every month.
Whenever you want me to collaborate, I am ready to do that. And I will give the link of Jamal's Ex Muslim of Norway's channel in the description of this video. I'm also going to give a link of Ex Muslim of Norway's website and Facebook page in the description of this video. So you go, all of the people who are watching, go and check their page and their YouTube channel, and you will definitely get something to learn from Jamal and his the people who are running these pages and these websites, because they are doing a lot of work and they are doing great work, and they are doing something that will help change this world. And this is also my purpose, this is Jamal's purpose, and maybe this is also your purpose who are watching this video. So Jamal, I would like to thank you a lot. I have known you for the last 2 or 3 years, and I know that you are a beautiful human being and you are doing all that you can do for the betterment of humanity, especially for the betterment of Muslims. When you are an ex-Muslim activist, but people don't understand that the ex-Muslim activists are the people who are really worried about Muslims. They are really trying to educate Muslims about human rights, about the new age, about enlightenment, and they are the people who are going to carry the Muslim community into future. If ex-Muslims fail, then the world is going to fail. This is what I believe. So I wish all the best of luck to you, Jamal, and I hope that your organization will play a great role in spreading the message in Norway and in Turkey and all over the Muslim world. So I would thank you, and I think we will end here.
Thank you very
So
much, Ghalip. Thank you very much for nice words. And I have to just add a little bit that you
yeah,
said
yeah,
is
of course,
very
of course.
important.
Yeah, yeah,
We have our lives. We have other works. Everyone in Ex Muslims of Norway, we just use our little free time to advocate human rights. And our
yeah, yeah,
first goal, important goal, is the normalize acceptance of apostasy and blasphemy in Islam. And this we are doing
yeah,
because
yeah,
we love Muslims. Our love driving us to be activists, or we can live
yeah,
our life like atheists, living freely in these countries.
yeah, yeah.
But we think Muslims, we think our families, so we do that. And thank you so much for nice words.
Okay, so you subscribe to Ex Muslims of Norway YouTube channel. You also subscribe to my channel, and soon I'm going to arrange something, and I'm going to collaborate with Jamal about different Islamic topics. He has a lot of knowledge about Islam. Today it was just a very simple discussion with him, but we are going to go into more complex discussions about Islam and what Islam really is and how we have to fight against Islamic ignorance. So thanks a lot for watching, and and we will see you next time with a different topic and in another video. So thanks a lot. Bye bye. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to receive all the notifications. You can also support me on Patreon. The link to Patreon is in the description. If you help me on Patreon, it will be much easier for me to continue my work and spread this message to a greater number of people.